Hello and welcome to another book haul. I have been gifted a bunch of books. A lot of them I am going to keep and I wanted to share them with you. And then I also have a few boxes of books that I am going to sell. I am going to sell them first up on Whatnot if you would like to join me. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific. And hopefully I'll see you there. Everything will be $2, even the hardcovers, and everything will be photographed by the time this video goes out, so that way you can see what's available. If you can't make the time, you can always pre-bid on it, but I do hope to see you there. We don't normally have a really good time, and also I learn a lot of stuff from y'all whenever I do one of those live auctions, because you guys share what you're reading and your book knowledge with me, and that helps me keep learning. And then of course, if those books don't sell on Whatnot, they will then go into my eBay store where I sell the majority of my books. But let me go ahead and show you the stuff that have been gifted to me. This entire box of stuff that I'm going to show you right now was all gifted to me by Rob. Rob, thank you very much. Some of these books I do know are for me, and some of them he said he was cool with me selling. At least I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Rob. I think that's what I got from your messages for me on Instagram. These two books, look how pretty that black text block is. It's so gorgeous. These two books were on my Amazon wish list. I do have that down below. Please don't feel obligated to buy anything. It's just normally like new books that are coming out that I'm interested in having. Leigh Bardugo is like having some kind of resurgence, or thanks to Book Talk, and I am here for it because I discovered her in the aughts and have pretty much bought everything that she has come out with because I really like her writing style. A lot of it is YA, but I enjoy it. It's kind of like a dark fantasy. Almost everything she writes is dark fantasy. So this is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. And then this is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I'm so excited to have this one because I recently found Hellbent in the wild, and I was super excited about that because I was like staring at it every time I went to Second and Charles, and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait, I'll find it in the wild, and I did, but I didn't realize that Hellbent was the second book in a series and Ninth House is the first book, so Rob was very kind to give this to me. But I have the Six of Crows duology already. I have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is how I discovered her, and I think I have the King of Scars duology as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So, but I have this one now, so that's very exciting. So Rob, thank you very much. And then he also sent me just an absolutely massive box of books. And a lot of this that I'm keeping, but some of it is duplicates, so I'm going to let them find a new home. And again, Rob, I hope you're cool with that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it now. The thing is that I think almost all these books are new except for the vintage ones, which is very humbling to have someone gift you like a massive box of brand new books. This is The Sword of Kagan, the Theonite Word Story by M.L. Wang. And it definitely looks like a kind of samurai style fantasy book, so I will definitely keep that one. This is Dying Inside by Robert Silverberg, and a really nice trade paperback edition. I'm trying to prevent the reflection because I said these are like crisp and brand new. This is an Orb trade paperback and in new condition, which is amazing. I actually don't think I have this Silverberg, and I've been looking for it, so Rob, thank you for that. I will definitely keep that one. And then we have This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone. Again, another like new trade paperback. I mean, this is new. It's very crispy. This looks like a very short kind of science fiction, maybe like science fiction thriller, I'm not sure, but I will keep that one to read. The Cabinet by Eun-Sung Kim. This is tactily pleasing. So this is a Korean novel. Interesting. Okay, so I guess this is a kind of science fiction-y uber people from Korea. I will definitely read that. That's exciting. And The Wall by Marlon Haushofer. Cold War area dystopian adventure. I've never heard of this book, so I'm just, here it is. The Wall by Marlon Haushofer. If I don't have duplicates, I will probably be keeping these. Just put it that way. So this is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is in like new condition. It did get some damage apparently while it was shipping, but I actually, not only did he gift this book in brand new condition in hardcover to me already, which is actually downstairs because my mom gave it back to me, and my mom gave it back to me because of the fact that I actually found another hardcover edition of The Midnight Library that I gave to her. So now I have a hardcover copy. My mom has a hardcover copy. And now I have this trade paperback copy. So I've heard lots of great things about this book. I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but I will be sharing that one. This is Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. This is also in new condition. This just seems like a regular fiction book. Really cool cover, but I will go ahead and keep that one. Oh, this is exciting! I'm so excited. Okay, so I have this already, and I have it in hardcover, and I've actually already reviewed this book. I will link that video up above. But this is All Systems Red, which is the first book in the Murderbot series by Martha Wells. I cannot recommend the Murderbot series enough. Every single book I've read from her so far has been an absolute delight. They're super fast to read. They're very short. This is like a novella style, but I will be sharing this one, so this one will be up on the auction as well on Whatnot, but this is very exciting. This is in new condition, and yeah, I'm very excited to be able to share that with y'all because it's so good. It's so good. I will say that if you start reading it and you like it, just get the rest of it. Just do it. You will not regret that. So yeah. All right. So this one I have some strong prejudices against, to be honest, and that is because I worked for Barnes & Noble when his Dragon series came out, Christopher Paolini, and I tried reading the first book when they came out because like everybody was losing their mind that this 15-year-old wrote a book. Unfortunately, it reads like a 15-year-old wrote a book. It's so simplistic that I couldn't get past. I read one chapter and I was like, I can't read this. And so I have held that chip on my shoulder for the entire time with his works. I will give this book a chance because, you know, he is now not 15 years old anymore and he has multiple books underneath his belt and hopefully a much more complex writing style. Because Rob has gifted me To Sleep in the Sea of Stars by him, which is his science fiction novel. So I will give this a shot. I will keep this one and see how it goes. But I tried reading that first book in his Dragon series and I just could not. I just could not. I was just like, it's like if you are a woman watching this, I feel like there's a universal heterosexual female experience where there at some point some dude asked you to come over to his house and listen to him play music on his guitar, and it is the most nails on chalkboard thing that you will ever experience because it's just bad. And I feel like that is the experience I had trying to read that first Dragon book. And I'm gonna have so many comments about that. Trying to read that first Dragon book, it was just like, this is just bad. I don't want to do this. So there's that. This I'm keeping. It is a vintage one. This is a vintage ace. This is Philip K. Dick, Our Friends from Frolics 8. Very beautiful book without a barcode, with a repeating front and back cover. Absolutely gorgeous. This is from 1970. Very excited about this. I think this is my first vintage Philip K. Dick. I did get a whole bunch of Philip K. Dick when I had a dealer offer me a bunch of the UK science fiction masterworks. So I'm not void of Dicks at all. I have plenty of Dicks, but now I have a vintage one. That's fun to say out loud multiple times. And also, Rob, thank you so much, because this is such a rare book to find, and I've never found it, and this is Cornwater Smith's most popular novel. He doesn't have very many full-length novels. He primarily wrote short stories. It's Norstralia. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous. This is in amazing condition, by the way. It only has a single crease in the spine. This is in immaculate condition. This is such a lovely gift. This is a second printing from 1975. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Another book without a barcode. That is very exciting. I am very happy to own that. This looks like a thriller. So like a science-y thriller, kind of like along the lines of Michael Crichton. Yes, that's what it looks like. So this is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I will offer this to others because I'm not really interested in this. I'm sorry, Rob. But I will share it with everyone. If it doesn't sell in the whatnot, then I will maybe read it at some point. But there's that. And then this is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. So this is A Choice of Gods by Clifford Simak. In this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous book club edition. With again, it has the repeating front and back cover. Look at how beautiful that is. I absolutely love how vibrant the colors are. Wow. And this is from 1972. Absolutely gorgeous. Definitely keeping that. The Night Alphabet by Joelle Taylor. A beautiful hardcover. I have a feeling that Rob gifted this to me because it is about a tattooed woman in the future. And this is definitely a story that is right up my alley. Yeah, definitely. This is very much an intersectional book that I would probably enjoy reading. So thank you, Rob. I will definitely keep that one to read. This book is gorgeous. This is absolutely shelf candy for sure. City of Last Chances by Adrian Jakovsky. Hopefully I didn't mess that up too, but look at that. Look at that gilding. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the spine. Super pretty. This is a fantasy novel, and I do have a propensity to preferring fantasy. Even though I've been reading a lot of science fiction, I still like fantasy more. I mean, I'm enjoying science fiction, but nothing hits like a good fantasy book in my personal opinion. And then this book, I'm going to keep this one, but I'm going to trade it out with the one I already have and keep this one, but trade it out with the same book that I already have because I actually recently found this out in the wild. This is another fantasy novel. This is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Muro. Gorgeous hardcover. So this is the one Rob sent me. And this is the one I found. So they're the same. But yeah, the one, of course, Rob sent me is in perfect condition. The one I found is not. It does have a little bit of a ding here on the front because, again, I did find this out in the wild. Both of these are first editions, first international editions, so I will keep the one that he gifted me, and then this one will go up for sale on Whatnot. So that is awesome. And then he also gave me a little tiny present. It's a little, I love crafting. You get it? It's Lovecraft, but also crafting, because I like doing the sewing things and the fixing stuff. That's adorable. That will go on my jacket that I have, the Bronco one. He sent me a Bronco one. I have a 2023 Ford Bronco that I ordered and waited 2.5 years for. So that will go on my jacket with this. And for some odd reason, we have decided to lighten up here. But, all right, so now I'm going to show you This video is going to be so long, so hopefully you guys are here for it. If not, bye. But now I'm going to show you the items that are going to be available for sale on Whatnot, besides the 4 I just pulled out of this box. There's going to be a lot, so I hope you guys have a snack or a drink. The first one is going to be The Thief's Gamble by Juliet McKenna, sorry. This is the first tale of Einarin. I will say words eventually. But a nice little mass market. It does have a library stamp on the top, but it doesn't have any library, like, other things on it, like any stickers. It just has a stamp on the top. That is a fantasy book. This is John Saul's Creature. John Saul is a horror writer. So this is a horror book. I also have Terry Pratchett's Going Postal, part of his Discworld series, which is of course his most popular series. I have Gravesight by Charlaine Harris. She is most well known for her Sookie Stackhouse series, which has like 13 books in it and is the loose basis of True Blood, because goodness knows they took lots of artistic liberties in that series from the books. Then I have a very fragile copy, very vintage copy of Earthlight by Arthur C. Clarke. This is from 1955. It does have tape on the spine, but like, look, it's got the advertisement on the back. Beautiful book without a barcode. This is from the golden age of science fiction. I think that that's great. Happy to hopefully find a new home for that one. I have several Stephen Kings for this auction. So this is The Dark Tower by Stephen King. This is the first book in his Dark Tower series. This is The Gunslinger. I'm so sorry. This is Gunslinger, the first book in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I swear I know how to talk. We have Different Light by Elizabeth Lynn. I just love this for its perfect 1980s cover. Like, still giving me disco there. Literally giving me disco. But I think that's great. I have 2 trade paperbacks here by Cormac McCarthy, most well known currently for The Road, which was published in 2008, I think. But these are also 2 books that he's well known for because both of them were made into, I believe, movies. At least I know this one is No Country for Old Men. This is in like new condition. Beautiful trade paperback from the aughts. And then his other book, All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. This is the first in the Border trilogy by him. If you like westerns, that would be up your alley. I also have a Dover Thrift trade paperback edition of Dracula by Bram Stoker, which of course was originally published in 1897, so, and it's still being published and talked about and in the zeitgeist of the modern world, because it is some books are just priceless, or not priceless. Some books are just timeless, and that is one of them. This is probably one of my favorite science fiction books. This is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I don't know how to say his name properly, but I actually had to read this book in college for psychology class in college. And one of the first things my current partner, I asked him to do was to read this book, and we talked about it. So he's a reader, so it wasn't like forcing him to do it, but he did read it because he'd never read it before, and we talked about it, and I thought that was great. This is Mary Stuart, The Crystal Cave, the first book in the Arthurian saga. So if you are a big fan of King Arthur, or the myth of King Arthur, you might enjoy this series. A lot of first books and trilogies here. This is a trade paperback of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, part of the Millennium series. So there's that. I picked this book up because I couldn't leave it behind. This is A Deeper Sea by Alexander Jablokov. If you can't tell, it is a science fiction book about dolphins. About the intelligence of dolphins and how they are as intelligent as men and bridging that gap between species. So that, I'm sure, is going to be an amazing read. This is a tattery edition of, book club edition of Pet Sematary by Stephen King. At least I should say the dust jacket is kind of tattery. The book itself is fine. It, however, has 1984 Limone written inside because that person had a complex, it seems. But I just love this cover. So there is that book club edition of Pet Sematary by Stephen King, one of his most well-known novels. I cannot have a book haul without doing at least one Star Trek book. This is from the more recent Enterprise series. I always just, when I see him, I just see Quantum Leap. I can't see anything else. I blame my mom for that. She was obsessed with that series, and to be honest, I was too. I watched every time she had it on. This is the Romulan War Beneath the Raptor's Wing. And then, of course, we have a trade paperback copy of Ender's Game. Nebula Award winner. Nice floppy copy there. So another Stephen King book, but this one is a graphic novel, hardcover graphic novel, and it is in great shape, except for the fact that the last person that owned this, somebody apparently didn't want them to know how much the book cost. And so they tore the price off there. So there is that. Fun. I don't know if I'd put those in a haul before, but there is that. And then I have another crate. There's one crate. Oh, this next box is pretty much hardcovers, mostly hardcovers, so it's a little heavy. I have a hardcover of the book 4 of the Heritage of Shannara by Terry Brooks, The Talismans of Shannara. I would keep this, but I already have one. So I have almost all of his books in this Shannara world in hardcover now. I'm missing a few, but I do have this one, so there's that. Then I have a couple of Michael Crichton books here. This is State of Fear by Michael Crichton. This one is more of a thriller science fiction, more thriller, a little bit of science fiction in it, but it is a hardcover. And then I have another first edition hardcover from him, The Lost World by Michael Crichton, which is of course the follow-up to Jurassic Park, which I think everybody in the world knows. I've bought and sold this book so many times because I find it way more often than the original Jurassic Park, but this one is from 1995. So there is that one. I also have a copy, first edition copy of The Dark Half by Stephen King. I did, at the same time I found this book, I did also find a first edition hardcover of Tommyknockers by him, but I'm keeping that one. So sorry. I meant to put it in this box so I could show it to you guys because I found them at the same time, but I forgot to. So hopefully Editing Bob put some kind of shelf thing here for you. But yeah, I have the first edition copy of The Dark Half from Stephen King, Mr. King himself. I have a World of Warcraft book because I don't just stick with Star Trek here. I also like World of Warcraft. I lost too many hours and days and years of my life to this game. First edition copy from 2010, The Shattering for World of Warcraft. It does have some foxing there, but that's okay. We have the 5th book in the Sword of Truth series in hardcover by Terry Goodkind, Soul of the Fire. The boy already has this, so I'm willing to share that one. This is the 3rd book in the series, the Magician's series by Lev Grossman, The Magician's Land, a hardcover edition. I really like the spine of this book. I think it's really pretty, but my favorite color is green, so that's probably why I'm a little biased there. His Father's Son by Nigel Bennett and P. Elrod. You can see it's a vampire story, so fantasy. This is a Bane book. You can always tell Bane books. They are very, very much easy to pick out in a lineup. And then I have another book club edition by Stephen King. This is Firestarter. Again, the cover for this is also a little tattery, but kind of interesting. I think this one also has a name written in it. This one's from 1980. So I have two 1980 book club editions by Stephen King, which I think is pretty cool. Also, we have a nice big floppy Diana Gabaldon Outlander book. This is Voyager, which I don't know what number it is in the series. I buy and sell so many books. I'm hoping, so this is I think the third book in the series. I'm hoping that I will eventually come across hardcovers of all of these. So far I've only come across 2 hardcovers from her Outlander series, and then when I collect all the hardcovers, then I'll start reading them. So many people are shocked that I've not read a single one of her Outlander books, because I am a big history nerd and also big fan to fantasy. Just hasn't got its hooks in me yet, so there we go. And it is for that reason that I'm waiting until I find all of them before I start reading that, because if it does gets its hooks into me, I will want all of them in the series, and to buy them all in hardcovers in really good condition is going to be expensive. So if I just organically come across them, it is better for me in the long run personally. This is The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka, and a Barnes & Noble trade paperback copy. We have The Silver Witch by Paula Braxton in a really good trade paperback copy, except for someone ripped a chunk out of the first page for I have no idea reason why, but this is of course a fantasy novel. I have 2 Margaret Atwood trade paperbacks. Of course we have The Handmaid's Tale in the stylized contrasting cover. Again, I already have this in hardcover. And then Lady Oracle by Margaret Atwood, which is one of her older works, and also in trade paperback. And then J.R.R. Tolkien, The Children of Húrin, and this beautiful trade paperback. So there are all those. And then one more box of books. Alright. Last box of books. These ones are all mass market except for, well, one. So the first book I'm going to show you is Escapement by Jay Lake. Another fantasy writer that I probably should read, because I also really like steampunk type of stuff because it's like history. But yeah, this is Escapement, which is the second book he's ever written. So I have this one in mass market. It's not a haul for me unless I have at least one Mercedes Lackey book. This is Oathbound by Mercedes Lackey. This is the first book in Thousand Honors trilogy. It is also the origin story of 2 of the supplementary characters in By the Sword, which is Carowin's Tale, which I have tattooed on my body. So this is Carowin's grandmother and her platonic soulmate, I guess is the best way to put that. So I found that definitely getting that. Another Stephen King novel. This one is a mass market. This is 4 Past Midnight. I don't think this man knows how to write a short novel, like, at all. Also not a haul for me unless I find Brian Jakes. So this is Lomehenge by Brian Jakes. I already have this in hardcover. I will one day have all of his hardcover books. I also have several Robert Jordan books. This is the only mass market Robert Jordan book I have. This one is The Eye of the World, which is the first in the Wheel of Time series. But this one is from 1990. Some more Terry Brooks here. The Elfstones of Shannara and the Wishsong of Shannara. Both of these are in the same quadrilogy. But there are these. This one has a little chunk taken out of it. But still perfectly readable. George Orwell's 1984. This is on my list of shame. I have never read this. I have never read that. I read Animal Farm. Not read 1984. This is the pulp. This is a Scholastic pulp. The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck. I, of course, have read this. I have it in hardcover. Nice little tiny pulp. And just to give you so this is a pulp. This is a regular mass market. You can see here it's about a centimeter of difference. And then this is a premium mass market. And you can see that is a centimeter taller than the regular mass market. So we have a pulp, mass market, premium mass market. Little ladder of books here, but they're all the same width. They just are a little bit taller from each other. Did you really need to know that? No, but I just feel the need to share that every time I come across that because it makes a difference if you're someone who wants everything on the shelf to be the same height, which you can see it's not here, and that bothers me, but whatever. You can't make publishers do what you want them to do. So here we have a bunch of premium mass markets from the Wheel of Time series. I have The Dragon Reborn, which is the third book in the series, in very good condition actually. The Lord of Chaos, which is the sixth book in the series, also in very good condition. And then The Fires of Heaven, which is the fifth book in the Wheel of Time series, and this one is the one that looks like it got read. Because it's got some creases there in the spine. But I have basically, I'm offering 1, 3, 5, and 6 in the Wheel of Time series for this auction. And now I'm not going to be able to get this out. Alright, so here we have another horror book. This is The Night Eternal by Chuck Hogan and Del Toro. So another premium mass market there, but that one is horror. And then I just pull out the rest of these mass markets here. I have On the Beach by Neville Shute. More modern printing of this book. There is that one. I also have Earthbound by Keith Lamar and Rosal George Brown. This is a Bane. This is an early Bane. Does have the UPC barcode removed for some reason, but I do like that this looks like the Paladin of Souls cover a little bit down here at the bottom. I figured I'd just go ahead and put this in this auction. This is The Master of Ballantrae by Robert Louis Stevenson. This is a 1960s edition. A Magnum book with slightly larger print, but this is a classic. Robert Louis Stevenson, of course, is most well known for, you know, Treasure Island and the like. This is a book I picked up because the cover is amazing. Look at that. Lady Hamlet, it looks like. Also looks like this artist hates drawing hands because look at those fingers. Look at those talons. This is A Woman of the Iron People, Part 1, In the Light of Sigma Draconis by Eleanor Arneson. I'll get there eventually. This cover is a first print from 1992. I just could not let that languish. The Stars Are Also Fire by Paul Anderson. And then Bard, The Odyssey of the Irish by Morgan Llewellyn. She is well known for her like historical fantasies. So have her as well. But that is everything. It's like 60 books, which is, it's almost 60 books that I will be auctioning off. So hopefully you guys are here for it. Again, it'll be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Whatnot, 8 a.m. Pacific if you can't make it in the morning because, you know, you're going to a religious practice and or you just don't want to see what the morning looks like. I totally understand. You can pre-bid if you want to, or you can just wait and see what goes for sale on my eBay store, which is also linked down below. But hopefully I'll see you there. And if not, I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And again, Rob, thank you very much for all of the presents, most of which are going into my own library.